עולה מן המדבר, מן המדבר, מכותרת מור, מור ולבונה, מור ולבונה, דודי לי, ואני לא הרואה, בשושנים דודי לי, ואני לא הרואה, בשושנים לבביני, לבביני, אחותי קלה, אחותי קלה, אורי צפון ובואי תימן, ובואי תימן, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, כמו lovely, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה. Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos to all who are here with us. Good Shabbos to all who are joining us remotely. We hope you will sing loudly too. We're singing loudly here in the sanctuary at Beth David, but we hope you'll sing loudly with us as well. All right, I really just want to sing a lot tonight. I hope you're in the mood to sing. I have a nice teaching. Oh yeah, I have a nice teaching and a little meditation later on, but mostly what we're going to do is sing together. But thank you, Joanna. We're going to start with Hadlakat Neirot, with welcoming the Shabbat by lighting Shabbos candles. Page 120, if you're following in the Siddur, page 120. Actually, let's start, 120 and then 121. Oh, you want to start with the 121? Okay, we'll start with the English on 121.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and in our lives.
Bless all who enter the sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Everybody together.
Lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, we pray, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be amongst those who kindle light. And we say, Amen. So let's turn to page 128. 128, Yedid Nefesh, the third song down on the page on 128. Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman, Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman, Meshochabecha El Retzonecha, from the top, Yedid Nefesh Avarachaman, Hadarecha Hayarut Avdecha Kemo Hayar Yishtachaveh Lai Mul Hadarecha Lai Bottom of page 132. Take a few deep breaths. Really deep. to Lecha Dodi on 138. I think you know how we do it here, right? Do we ever do it the full thing? All of it, all the way through? No, never? All right, one Shabbos, I'm going to pull it out. Don't worry, like that's it. I'm going to be like, all right, this is the one where we're going to do all 9. Yeah, that's it. Come on, let's go. Come on. No, but not this Shabbos. Not this one. No. 138. Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Shamor V'Zachor B'Kibur Echad Hishmi'anu El HaMe'ochad Adonai Echad U'Shemo Echad V'Shem U'Tiferet V'Letila Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Hitoreri 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 Kiva Orech Kumi Ori 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 Shir Dabechi Kevod Adonai Alayim Nigla Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Boi B'Shalom B'Teret Bala Gam B'Simcha U'B'Tzala Toch Emunei Am Segula Boi Kala Boi Kala Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela. You can be seated. (141). Read together with me in the English at the bottom of 141. Adonai is sovereign. God is robed in grandeur. Adonai is robed. God is girded with strength. The world stands firm. It cannot be shaken. Your throne stands firm from of old. In eternity you have existed. The oceans sound, Adonai. The ocean sounds its thunder. The ocean sounds its pounding above the thunder of the mighty waters. More majestic than the breakers of the sea is Adonai, majestic on high. Your decrees are indeed enduring. Holiness befits your house, Adonai, for all time. Mikol od Ma'im Rabim Adirim Mishperei Yam Adir B'marom Adonai Eidotecha Adonai leorech yamim. So turn the page to 142. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Asharet Malachei Elyon Shalom Malachei Elyonim Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Hu Shalom Malachei Hashem Malachei Elyon Melech Malchei Amlachim Seidchem Shalom Malachei Hashem Malachei Elyon Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. $144. Yitkadal veyitkadash shemei Rabba V'yalmad yivrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imeru amen Yesh mei Rabba mevorach le'olam le'olmei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei dekudesha brichu le'yelah Min kol birchata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imeru Amen. Let's read together on 145. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of withered leaf, unripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew our days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my ways. Good, let's stand on page 144 for the Baruch Hu. Good, stand with your feet together or just slightly apart. Chest up and chin up, your shoulders down and relax. Grounded. Lower your center of gravity in your vision, from up around your head to down around your hips. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Hu et Adonai read together at the bottom of 151. So let's go back and forth on this. I think this lends itself nicely to back and forth. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. Then this, holiest of your works, and the living language that gives it form. And all together we say, Baruch Atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Good, let's prepare ourselves for the Shema. We'll stand in just a second, but before we stand, just take a moment to leave the week behind. To shed yourself of that superficial stress, the stuff that can easily be shed and that really is not the center of who we are and what really deeply concerns us. It's kind of the junk mail of our spiritual well-being, stuff that comes in and distracts us, but that really is ephemeral and non-essential. Whenever you're ready, take a few breaths and don't rush yourself. But whenever you're ready, stand up. And when everyone has stood up, we'll sing the Shema together on page 151. But don't rush. No need. You feel that the week has been left behind, and you can come into Shabbat as free as you can be of all encumbrances, any extra burdens, unnecessary baggage of the week. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Turn ahead to page 158. And I want to ask you to, you can be seated for a second. I want to ask you to turn your attention and your intention to the word kadosh, the word holy. We say, who is like you, God, who is ne'edar bakodesh. You are amazingly kadosh. You are, majestically holy. This word kadosh. We're going to talk about that a little bit in just a few minutes, but I want you to start to focus on the word kadosh. Think about all the ways that we use the word kadosh without really quite having a good, solid definition of it. That's okay, actually. It's a broad and very expansive word. It's really a concept more than a word. But I want to introduce a song, a melody, to everybody, those at home, those who are here. I don't know, maybe I've sung this before. Have I sung this before here? I don't think so. I think I've done the upbeat Joshua Nelson Micha Mocha. But this is an English language song, and it's inspired by this passage here and by the passage that we read that also mentions Kedusha, Kadosh, in the middle of the Amidah, what we call the Kedusha, where we say, Kadosh, 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 holy, holy, holy. And, one is not enough. And that's very unusual. Very few places do we say anything like that. So we're going to focus our attention and our intention tonight on the word Kadosh. And I want to introduce a melody. It's an English language song, and it's a gospel song, so sometimes I steal from non-Jewish music, and I bring it over into Jewish music, because the truth is they stole from Jewish music into non-Jewish music, and I'm totally fine with that. I'm great, I don't own this stuff. This belongs to everybody. Go ahead, take. God is one, universal God, all that stuff. But it's a song I learned from gospel musicians, so I bring it to you in this spirit. This is how it goes, and you can sing along as you pick it up. I'll sing it a whole bunch over the next 48 months. Did I say 48? 28 months. 24 months, rather. Yeah, well, I'm already looking ahead. I like it already. It's good. I think it suits me, so, I'm comfortable. Okay. All right. Enough goofing around. He is high and lifted up, and his presence fills the temple. Holy is the Lord. He is high and lifted up, and his presence fills the temple. Holy is the Lord. And the angels cry, holy. Holy, and the angels cry, holy. Holy, holy is the Lord. He is high and lifted up, and his presence fills the temple. Holy is the Lord. He is high and lifted up, and his presence fills the temple. Holy is the Lord, and the angels cry, holy. Holy, and the angels cry, holy. Holy, holy is the Lord. Let's read responsively the bottom of 158. Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. We all say, Baruch atah Adonai, Gaal Yisrael. Good. Let's stand, page 164. Adonai, 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 Svatai Tiftach, Page 166, the Amidah, we sing together, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot Ve'imaot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'nehem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah. 168. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol Atarav Lehoshia, Mohorid Ha'atal, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunatol Dishenei Afar, Michamocha Bal Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata le'achayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechayei hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kedoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. We continue quietly in the Siddur or in meditation and come back together to sing on page 180. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Good, please be seated. Okay, Shabbat Shalom. I like to speak from down here. I'm thinking about moving the Amud table down here, because, up there is up there and down here is down here. Anyways, Shabbat Shalom. I want to talk to you about Kedusha, about holiness. And I want to start with a map. I want you to picture a map of the ancient Israelite encampment, where each tribe has its place in the desert, all around the perimeter. There's an outside of the camp, we know, because several things we're told. There are several mitzvot which you have to do outside of the camp, things which are kind of foul or nasty or somehow, burning something or doing something like that, where you can't just do that right in the neighborhood, so you have to go outside the camp. So we know there's a outside and there's a perimeter of the camp and there's an inside that's close to that. And then as you get closer and closer, we get to the tabernacle that's there. And the tabernacle is kind of a model map of the temple, a more substantial mapping of spiritual life. The temple is more than a building. It's more than just architecture. It's a map of spirituality. And I'm not the first to come up with that idea, that we're supposed to reflect on the tabernacle, the temporary dwelling of God in the desert, and the temple in Jerusalem as more than just architectural structures, but as philosophical, spiritual, temporal structures. And in all of these settings, in the desert tabernacle setting and in the tabernacle in Jerusalem, the closer you get to the center, the holier things get. Right? Holiness is not way out there in the desert, somewhere on the top of Mount such and such, where nobody could ever possibly reach. Right? The holiest of holies, as you go into the temple, the most inner part is the Kodesh HaKodashim, the most holy of the holies. Did you ever really reflect on that? Like, well, what does that even mean, the holy of the holies? Like, it's one of those words that we don't really have a good sense of what it means. Part of it means separate and apart. The holy place is here in the middle. Not many people can go there. It's limited. It's protected. Holiness is something that's protected, that's different. We say Havdalah, we say Bein Kodesh Lechol. There's a difference between that holy spot in the center of the temple and all that other stuff that goes on nearby around. And there's a holiness experience, and then there's all the rest of the stuff around that. We talk about this not just in terms of architectural and geographic physical space, but we talk about holiness in temporal space. It's Shabbat. The center of Jewish experience is not Wednesday afternoon. The center of Shabbat, of Jewish experience, is Shabbat. It doesn't have a number. All the other days count up towards that day. It's Shabbat Kodesh. It's the holy Shabbat, which means it's somehow central. It's protected. It's different. It's distinguished from all other things. And it's there right smack dab in the center. We tend to think of Shabbat as like a getaway, a little vacation. And that our industry and the stuff that we do the rest of the week, that's who we are. I'm a plumber, I'm a doctor, I'm a teacher, right? That somehow something external to us, part of just the camp or the periphery of the camp, part of the Yom Chol, the average, ordinary weekday, that thing is somehow who we are. I'm guilty of that myself. Well, I'm a rabbi, right? The title, all that title stuff, well, I'll tell you what a burden that title thing is. And, you carry it because it's good. It's good to have a title. It's good to have that if you're a leader and a teacher. But you can get misled into thinking that's what I am. I'm that thing that's out there that's somehow external to me. That's not what we are. Whatever you do, whatever your industry, well, good. It's not a bashing of industry and of human creativity, plumbers, doctors, or teachers. None of that. It's simply to say that that's the camp. That's Wednesday afternoon. It is not the essence and the essential thing of who we really are. And so as we go into Shabbat, I want you to really think about holiness and making room to discover what is central. To go deeper into the center of who you are, and not just to have a break from industry and a break from work, a vacation, something that's peripheral, that's not, it just happens. It's still out there. If that's what Shabbat is, then it's still out there. It's still in the camp. And yes, of course, it's nicer and the meal is better and you get to nap and you get to sing with Rabbi Nori. Very nice, but it's still out there. It's not the Shabbat of the Spirit. There's no way that the Torah describes all of the encampment of the ancient Israelites so that we know the geography and architecture of our ancestors. There's no point to knowing those things. It describes that so that we have a majestic and beautiful vision of our own inner architecture, which includes a Kodesh HaKodashim, a holy place where only you, the high priest or priestess, can go. And only when you are prepared to encounter what is most holy. So I'm working on getting better at this meditation, and I learned from Joanna. It's a kind of traditional yogic meditation, and I think it's one that reflects on the holiness within, and I'm going to ask you to do it together with me. So sit comfortably however you want to sit. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that, or if not, that's fine. Take a few deep breaths and get into a deep breathing pattern. Try to relax. And I'd ask you first to turn your attention to the world as you encounter it around you. Be aware of the sounds you hear in the sanctuary. Quiet sound of the air conditioning, the compressor, sounds of the buildings and sounds which are around you. Be aware of the air and the temperature, the seat and the floor. Listen for distant sounds in the world around you. If you're not here and you can hear things beyond just the room you're in, let those sounds come in. And whatever you hear, whatever you feel, whatever the world around you is, allow yourself to be a part of that world. To recognize that you too belong in that world, and that you are in harmony with the world around you. attention to your own body. Feel your body, your breath, your shoulders and chest as your breath rises and falls. Be aware of how your body feels in your seat. Be aware of any aches and discomforts which you might have, any good feelings in your body that you might have, anything that's hard or difficult. Whatever it is, allow those things to simply enter into your awareness. Accept them as they are. And in that way to be in harmony with your body. Now turn your attention to your thoughts, to your mind, to all of the things which are going on. Allow those thoughts to come, whether they're peaceful, easy thoughts, or whether they're chaotic. Whatever they're about, whether they're happy thoughts or not, good thoughts or not, uplifting or not. Allow them all to come. Accept them as they come, and allow them to go. Let go of them. As each thought comes, recognize it for what it is, and let it go. And be in harmony with your thoughts and your mind. And now turn your attention to your emotions, to your feelings. How do you feel? Most feelings only last a few seconds. The average life of our emotions is but half a minute. So allow each emotion you have to come and to present itself. Allow it to be present. Feel that emotion, whether it's an easy and comforting one, or a difficult and disturbing one. Allow them to come. Feel them. And let them pass. And then as you remain in harmony with the world around you and your own body, your own thoughts, your own emotions. Remember that all of these things are not central. That you remain at your center, at your core, the Kodesh HaKodashim, the holy, goodness, and light. The inviolable place where only you can encounter your truest self, what is most holy within. And now as you embrace that holiness, that goodness and that light, which is your truest self, the most central and holy part of who we are. Open your eyes and return back to our congregation, to each other, into this holy place. yourself and others a Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Let's stand for Aleinu and we'll conclude our service. Actually, first, before we do Aleinu, turn to page 371. And let's call into presence those who are ill and those who are suffering in any way. And ask God for healing, and that our voices lend them support and healing as they face their struggles. If you have somebody you want included in our blessing tonight, I'd ask you to let Jeannie know. She'll come around with a microphone. Also, if you're joining us remotely, you can chime in remotely and in the comments and let Jeannie know, and we'll say everybody's name. And then when we're done with the formal blessing, we'll sing a little bit together. Misha Berach Avotenu Vimotenu, may God, the holy blessed one of our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are ill, including
Linda and Stephen Ely, Allison Slaughter, Rebecca Goodman, Robert Whitlock, Daniel Brito, Patty Beeman, Roxana Gomez, Frank Gomez, Arlene Conley, Tammy Baker, Judy Carmichael, Sidney McLean, Mike Roth, Shelley Storch, Dennis Sadler, Lisa Ann Gaston.
Good. Any others here? I think we do have. Yeah, we're coming.
Susie Horowitz, Keith Hood.
Phyllis Falk, Susan Eilers, Ron Robinson, Ann Olin, Ronnie Eggers, Felice and Morris Friedman, Shannon Pointer, Joel Freed, and William Smith.
Darrow Smith, Carl Coffey, and Eileen Sherman.
Avotenu mikor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberachimotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. May God, the Holy Blessed One, be filled with compassion for their health. May they be restored, and may their strength be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us all say, Amen. Turn to page 586. Aaron, would you come open the Aron for Aleinu, page 586. Aaron, would you come open the Ark for Aleinu? Good. משתבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו גויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל עמונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לבני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. You spread out the heavens and establish the earth. Your majestic abode is in the heavens above, and your mighty presence in the loftiest heights. You are our God, and there is no else. In truth, you are our sovereign, without compare. As is written in your Torah, know this day, and take it to heart that Adonai is surely God in the heavens above, and on the earth below. There is no other. Kakatuv b'toratecha, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. 591. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Vayom ha'u yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad u'shemo echad. This week, thank you, Aaron, we mark yahrzeit for Michael Cherkis, Herman Altschuler, Carol Lindley, Bessie Horowitz, Esther Schiller, and Stella Kata. Also, we call to memory those who passed away in the past year and are in either the year of mourning or in Shloshim. Edna Doctorman, yahrzeits for Edna Doctorman, Robert Diskin, Erwin Finkelman, Mickey Kroll, Daniel Roach, Nicholas Collins, Ed Gallup, Frank Perrone, Barbara Babbitt, Eugene Schmuckler, John McPeak, Dennis Clausen, and Ellie Freed. Any other yahrzeits tonight that are not on our list? No? Tehei nishmotam tzurot b'tzur chayim. We pray their souls be bound up in the bond of life and their memories be a blessing. Mourners and those observing yahrzeit stand for the Kaddish, page 598. Together, V'it Gadal, V'it Gadal, Shemei Rabbah, Ve'alma Divrach Yerutei, Ve'amlich Malchus, B'chayechon, U'vyomechon, U'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, U'vizman Kari, V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevorach, Le'olam U'omei Olmaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yit'aleh, V'yithalal, Shemei Dekudasha, B'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, v'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Good Shabbos, everybody. We have a couple of announcements. First, I just want to make some anniversary announcements. Happy anniversary to Barry Walls and Serena Sachs, who were married in 95, and to Dennis and Deborah Lee Wright, who were married in 93. A happy anniversary to them and many happy returns. A couple of other announcements, and then I'm going to come back.
In keeping with current CDC guidelines, TBD has gone mask optional for those who are fully vaccinated. Masks are still required for anyone not fully vaccinated. Please consider joining us in the sanctuary to worship as a community. The September Board of Trustees meeting will be held this Wednesday, September the 7th. Please see details on our website. Please continue to read your TBD emails for all announcements and event details. We want to thank the Fletcher family for sponsoring the ONEG tonight.
I just have a couple other things to add to announcements, and then we'll go and make Kiddush together and celebrate Shabbos a little bit. It's Elul, right? It's Rosh Hashanah is soon. So get ready, make plans. That means a couple of things. One is I'm going to ask everybody to repeat sort of what Jeannie said, pay attention to emails, to things that go out. Please, if you are not already following our Facebook page, follow our Facebook page. Even if you don't do that a lot, we're going to do more notifications and things through there, so please join and like our Facebook page and follow it. And if you haven't made arrangements yet for where you'll be for Rosh Hashanah, or if you'll be with us, please let us know. We have room, we have space, we want you to be with us, and we're going to have a really beautiful service. Lots of singing, lots of learning, lots of good Kedusha and holiness here. So please join us for all of the holidays that are coming up. Lastly, I just want to say a few personal thank yous. First of all, to Bobby for painting my office. It's good. It hadn't been painted in a while, and it really needed it, and it makes a big difference. Little things like that, small little steps that we're taking, make a big difference in the whole spirit of how we are around here. So, Toda Rabah, thank you very much. Also, thank you to the people who sponsor and put together the ONEGs. Come and join us in person. We celebrate here after Shabbos services. We get to know each other. We build community. We make friendships. We eat and drink together. So please join us in person. That's about it. That's all I have for announcements. That's all I have for services. Please join us for Kiddush in the social hall. Shabbat Shalom.